This is episode 23 of our podcast, The Verdict. We're in a bit of a rebranding process, and so as such, we've opened the doors and we're working with a larger, more established talent such as yourselves.
I feel special already.
I feel special.
Glad to be in the building. Glad to be in the number.
Well, I was told that the guru would be in the building. Well, we'll get into more what you do, but that's kind of, that's the term that I used.
Okay.
When he told me who he had invited. I mean, it was a big deal for me. So, episode 23, I'm Splash Jordan. I'm from Charlotte. I'm a content creator. I do production, I do podcasting, and I do writing as well. Not like anything lyrical, more like commercials, documentaries, that type of thing. So Wes.
So you guys know me as I am Wes Taylor. Just go by Wes, just on the podcast or whatnot. I'm also from Charlotte. I'm just a basic engineer one now. Just started a new job not too long ago. Also a music producer. I'm pretty much the calm, cool guy. This guy is a little bit of the pot stirrer, but it's all good. That's enough for everybody to know. Right. I figured.
About us too.
Yeah.
Our listeners are pretty familiar already. They don't care.
No, they don't. They don't care about us.
If you would, Ms. Quiana, tell us, introduce yourself, who you are, and what it is that you do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Quiana Shepherd. I guess I would say my Clark Kent job is I'm a PR marketing director at a local university here in the area, and then I'm moonlighting as the Raleigh-Durham influencer for a website called I Don't Do Clubs.
Influencer. That's an interesting term that you used.
Heard about that.
You heard about influencers or I Don't Do Clubs?
Yeah.
I saw a post about I Don't Do Clubs, and I thought that somebody was just being cute, but I didn't know it was like a thing. But now you're telling me that there's like a movement. It's
a movement, 17 cities. We just started Toronto, Miami, and Philly is I think the latest 3.
And so that brings us now to Zen. If you would introduce, and a lot of the fans, the people who do listen, they're somewhat familiar because they're affiliated acts who've been here, who brought your name up before.
Tight.
So if you would.
Cool. Well, yeah, my name is Zen. I go by the stage name Zensofly. I'm a self-taught DJ, producer, artist, rapper, songstress, and fashion killer.
Self-taught, all those things, huh?
Yeah.
It's hard to teach yourself, one thing, let alone, several things, and then be as good, as successful at that. So, okay, introductions out of the way. We're all, one big happy family, adjacent. So, I promised an interesting icebreaker that would reveal some things about each other, which is fun because, we're all kind of, not he and I, but, we're all kind of strangers to each other. So, and this will be quick, I promise. And then we'll get into some nitty gritty stuff. But people do enjoy this when I do this, which is rare. So,
that is up for the
right.
We all got phones here. This will require, if you want to write it down, you can, but, it might be easier than, keeping this up, all this information up in your head. What I would like for you to do is think of the first 3 animals that you like the most in order of, 1 is my favorite animal, 2 my second favorite, and 3 my third favorite. I'm sure you have some idea of your top 3 favorite animals. So, think about that for a second. Everybody should be good, right? I think everybody's good. Wes, you look like you're working on the last one. Perfect. All right, so we're good. What I would like for you to do is just describe each animal with at least 3 adjectives that describe that animal. We're all aware of what an adjective is. Yes. I didn't think I had to define it, but I have had to in the past. So, no shame. I'm perfectly fine with but everybody here seemed educated to the point to know what an adjective is.
So 3 adjectives for each one?
For each one. And I promise, we're nearing the end of the test already.
Can we use the same adjective?
I'd prefer if you didn't, but if you had to, then you got to. It's all what you want, man. It's all what you want, how you feel about the situation. Okay, all right. I think I'm good. Wes, you look like you're struggling a little bit. Oh, at the corner of my eye, it looks like you guys, not you guys, but it looks like you're struggling a bit. All right, so. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad I put you on the spot, so in just a second, And that's all we got to do. So after that, I'm going to tell you what all that information means. Once, you know what I'll do, and I'll give you guys some time if you want to think about it, because you weren't here, but I was telling Zen and Wes that I had a very bad day today. So if you guys need a little bit more time, I can tell you exactly why my day was so terrible. Perfect. And I'll fly through the story because everybody looks like they're probably finishing up. I don't have any problems, sharing anything about myself. I'm an open book, as far as things that you ask me. Now, things that I tell, maybe yes, maybe no, but I am an open book. So anyway, that aside, I like to partake in certain substances. I'm very open about these substances, and I enjoy them frequently. So a good buddy of mine has a very good connect on, particular substances. And so he had been sending me these substances in the mail at a location, and I had been receiving them, and things had been fine. We were both very aware that what we're doing is not only illegal, but highly dangerous and very risky as well. But we continued to do so. It got to a point, as we both knew it would, that the contents of each package expanded. It increased in size and mass to today, where a very important package of mine was not delivered on time, in a timely fashion. That was unfortunate, to say the least. But the process that I had to go through to actually have some control made it even more frustrating. I had to go to, particular areas that I wasn't familiar with. And as a black man poking around, right, I wasn't met with the greatest of support. And not only that, of course, when we do these things now, we don't refer to each other by name because that would be ridiculous. Yeah. So when explaining to individuals who do have the power to help, I now have to explain who I am and how I know person A, who does not exist, and how I know person B, who also does not exist. And it was just very unfortunate, coupled with the fact that I didn't get the things done that I wanted to. So I was not productive in the time that was allotted to me, today. And not only was I not productive, I also lost a very important package. I don't know that I'll get it back. The contents were very important to me, but the money that I spent on the contents was more important to me, which was not all mine. So, I owe individuals, money.
Sounds very stressful.
It was.
Gosh.
It was. But, this is why individuals, it comes with the territory for, doing things that you have no business doing.
They're not coming here.
They're not coming here. No one's coming for me, and no one knows.
Let me make
no,
sure.
No. I wouldn't, what I'm saying? It's a fun story for sure, at my expense, but no, I'm not that reckless now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm leaving out key details that
you don't want big worm rolling up here.
Right. I'm leaving out key details to support my anonymity in the things that I'm doing, and also to protect everybody else. Okay, so the situation left me frustrated, to say the least, and then so I'm here now though. But I was looking forward to this all day. Some of the contents of the package were to prepare me. I like to prepare. I have a process that I go through before every episode. I wasn't able to do that, and I don't like when I'm not able to do that. But I'll make do because, like I said, the guest list was very important. It was very important to meet and you two individuals. So I'm gonna get through it because that's what adults do. So now that I have
Nobody said adulting was easy.
No, they said it was hard. Actually, I'm kind of tired of adulting.
Yeah, me too.
At the very beginning, we were like, man, we can't wait till we grow up.
It's like,
now,
I want to be 18.
You grow up.
Right.
Gosh.
Bills,
right.
And like that. Like, ain't nobody trying.
All you had to do was
nobody. Right.
go to class.
No one's trying to.
And we complaining about that.
Yeah, like no one's trying to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like we just want to go have fun. Like that's what we thought it was. We thought adults did nothing but have fun. We didn't know what they did. On a 9
it was
to
like,
5
oh,
basis.
when you're an adult, you could do anything you want, but
right,
It costs for
yeah.
it.
It's definitely a cost to adulting. Definitely. So I finished.
Okay, perfect. It looks like everybody's done. Yeah. So, Wes, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Okay, so my first animal was eagle, and I said it was stealthy, sharp, and agile. Second animal is a wolf. I said it's a predator. It's resilient, and it's also independent. And then my last one is a cheetah. I said it was fast, versatile, and sneaky.
I like that.
Preach. If you would, please.
My animals are so friendly. The first one I had was Koala. Okay. Cuddly, lovable, cute. Panda was my second. Adorable, harmless, yet protective. Okay. Dolphin was my third. Fearless, friendly, and docile.
All good. No,
nice.
that is
Animals
good.
And good traits.
That is.
I've got panda on mine too. Pandas are so cute. Okay, so first one, monkey, furry, playful, childlike. Panda, cute, fluffy, chill, and a unicorn.
Okay.
Colorful, mystical, magical.
I do
Unicorn's
too.
my favorite.
I'm not surprised by some of the animals that the two of you picked, and what you how you describe them. Also, kind of get you. I'm just gonna go over what. First of all, I'm gonna read mine first, and then I'll say what they mean, and then I'll say why I wasn't surprised. My animals, in order of my favorite to my third favorite, was a dragon, majestic, powerful, eternal. My second one was a lion, which is prideful, protector, and a leader. My third one was a shark, which is mysterious, calculating, and aggressive. Okay? I'm a different type of animal. I'm a different kind. But, so, let's go over these answers because we spent long enough on this. So, now the attributes that you attributed to the first character, first animal, this represents how people observe you, how other people see you. Okay? All right. So the second one represents how you think other people see you. So other people are seeing you is number one, but your perception of what you think that they see when they look at you is number two. And number three, the third one, is what you actually are. This is how you actually come across. Right. You cheetah. Yes. So was there anything about that stuck out to you or that surprised anybody? Again, of course, this isn't fucking science, and I'm no doctor, and I didn't go to school for any of this, so it's not facts, set in stone. But it does, kind of make you think about some things.
As far as the cheetah, fast. I guess at moments I can be fast paced, especially with work. Versatile. I'm a jack of all trades, really. I can do just about anything you put in front of me. Sneaky. I don't like to be seen all the time. I definitely like to surprise.
Play the cut.
Yeah, play the cut. Like the sly guy. Be crafty. So pretty much that's me in a nutshell, actually. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Definitely.
So we learned some things about each other. Now we know each other's name. Now we know each other's deepest, darkest secrets.
Yes, spirit animals.
Right, your spirit animal. Well, I have on good authority, my spirit animal is actually a ladybug.
Oh,
right.
That's a big contrast.
Right, it is.
The dragon.
Right. and that's what makes it all the more believable because there is, at times stark contrast between my personality, the things that I'm involved in versus the person I actually am. But I was told to do some exercises and then allow myself to be approached. And I was, but on several occasions, by ladybugs. It was a little weird.
It's like good luck.
But they are very good luck. They represent good luck. I actually don't believe in luck. I don't believe in a lot of things. But that's that's for another conversation. So what I want to talk about now that, the listeners are will be more familiar with who everybody is exactly now what you do. I know that if we're starting with Quiana, so I know that you said that you're PR and marketing. People like myself who are uneducated as far as what that is, what that means, and what y'all do. Mm-hmm. Could you kind of fill in those gaps?
Yeah, absolutely. So I Don't Do Club started in August of 2011 by a young lady named Janice Cage in New York City. And at the time, she was a web manager for Ebony magazine. And at that time, and I was living in New York as well, what was missing is there wasn't a central location for young black professionals to go to and say, this is what's going on. We know, we can go to the club, we can go to 24th Street, but, there's other things that young black professionals want to do. So she started this lovely website, and before you knew it, we were going to that website every week. We young black professionals, we need something
yes.
We're like the popcorn generation. Give it to me in small bits. Don't give me this long, drawn out paragraph. So that's what she was doing. It was just 10 events that were happening in New York City every week. And then she figured out, oh my gosh, I can make money from this. So she started expanding into different cities. So I can't remember what the second city was, but like I said, we have like 17 cities now, and Toronto's the latest one. So basically, every week, the different influencers will post 10 events that are happening in their city. But she also doesn't do that, but she does lifestyle pieces as well. So you can, if you go to the site, you'll find information about like dating, why you don't have a man, and just crazy stuff like that.
I need to visit that page.
Yeah. But I guess one of her signature events is I Love Beard. So, the whole beard movement is like crazy right now.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. It
did the
is.
bearded
It
brunch
is.
thing.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I like to keep.
You're in. You're in season.
Well-
you need to take advantage of that.
Well, I've been told that light-skinned individuals haven't been in season for a very long time.
But we're not talking about your complexion. We're talking about your beard.
So my beard supersedes my complexion.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
You're on trend.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I've been trendy.
Beard gang.
Right. Yeah. I've known to be slightly trendy in the past. I was unaware of a beard movement.
Yeah, there's a beard movement.
Beards are, now that you've given me a compliment, let me, destroy it completely by just saying that beards are actually kind of like high maintenance. Like, they hold dirt and they're smelly quite often. So I have to wash my face more than I would normally, and I have to use like special like women products, in order to not like if I do like this, like flakes will just fall down all over my shirt. So
You just need to say thank you when people compliment you. Okay? We don't need this long, drawn out explanation. Just say thank you. Beards are in. You need to take advantage of that. So you know what that means. So as I was saying, I Love Beard is like a movement. So she has these series of day parties that she takes across the country. So we're hoping to bring it to Raleigh in the spring. But it's already been at Charlotte. It's already been in Atlanta, D.C. So it's a simple day party.
right.
So if you hear of any other beard parties, it's not affiliated with I Don't Do Clubs. Because I know there's already been one here.
Okay.
Already.
Okay, but we're not shouting them out.
No.
No. Because we're only rocking
Must
with
love beards.
right. We're only rocking with I Don't Do Clubs. So I guess my question is, so your position in the organization would be described as?
Yeah, so I'm noted as the influencer for Raleigh Durham.
Okay.
So I capture all the events for the Raleigh Durham Chapel Hill area. Sorry, I should have been clear about that.
Okay.
So every week I'll submit 10 events that people should consider in the Raleigh Durham Chapel Hill.
Really?
Yeah. So exactly how do you find these events?
I can't give away all my
You
secrets.
can't give away all your secrets. So if we came to you with an event, would you possibly post that on your website?
I will, because you're my boy.
Okay, no.
Excellent.
So, but I seriously, like I hear from, I'm part of like 7 different group me's.
We're part of like
Like 2 together, or I'll find things that are going on Facebook or just word of mouth. You should check this out. Like I try to post events by people who are hosting it that I know, because I don't want to send y'all to like some riggedy event and there's like 4 people there and y'all looking at each other. That messes up with my metrics as well, because we are held accountable by our metrics per city. Like it's a certain metric that we have to reach every month.
So you're responsible for bringing a certain number of individuals.
To the site.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be hard to, I guess, quantify, but I guess you guys have some method of doing it.
Methods, but then I don't think there's another site like ours in this city. Like, and I'm not trying to, I follow other sites and I think they're amazing, but just something that comes out every week, quick, snappy, 10 events. Like right now, I think we're kind of like, there's a whole lot of group me's.
Right.
So it's like you got to be a part of like 10 different group me's to figure out everything that's going on, But there isn't one site that shows you where you can go for young Black professionals in Raleigh Durham. We're the only ones who are doing that right now.
That's weird that you say that, because this guy is in a ton of group me's. I'm in one group me. Are you in any group me's then?
0.
Right. Like first of all,
I guess I need to. I'm missing out.
Well, here's the thing about group me's though, and I'm sure you're in group chats though.
Yeah.
So group chat can kind of get out of control sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Mine are on like do not disturb.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the group me though, we're now talking about 40, 50, even the group me that he and I are in, it's just like 10 or 12 individuals, but like, in the span of about 6 minutes, I can get 700 notifications, about nothing, absolutely nothing. Our group me is not professional in any way. We're just a group of friends. So, I'm reluctant to join a whole bunch of like group message boards because it's just flooded with notifications. And I do work a lot, so I don't have the opportunity. I usually have to like go home, and at the end of the day, I have to scroll now through the entire conversation if I want to be informed or in the loop, which is a little bit more than I'm willing to do. But for some strange reason, even on GroupMe is an app that I've used now for like ever. It seems to be a way now that people are communicating with each other, so that way you don't have to like. You don't need my telephone number or my email or this. We can communicate here just fine. And, we can also post these things. And I see a lot of people using them professionally, which is interesting. I never knew that. The resources that I use so unprofessionally could, be used to, form connections. I thought it was just for partying and bullshitting and for hitting up those individuals that you don't really want to have your telephone number. But we can be cool though and still communicate and send memes to each other. So that's crazy that y'all say that. I didn't know that at all, that y'all were using GroupMe that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one GroupMe I'm part of has like 800 people in it. The one that I think one of them has like 200 and the other one's like 80 or so.
Yeah, we're in CYP.
And TYP. I think TYP is like...
I think TYP has like 300.
Yeah.
And then like this ours like CYP, which is probably the best one I've been in, other than the one that me and him had. That one has about 90.
Yeah,
like 100
that's a little
people.
bit more intimate.
Right.
But some people overlap though.
Some people do overlap. Actually, I just put him in a GroupMe chat just yesterday for Charlotte, and it has like 1,900 people.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. Jeez. And they have like the stipulation, of just like in the title, this post events.
Right.
Like, don't need any conversations or anything.
Exactly.
But as of late, people have been having side conversations, talking about, the situation with the what was it? It was like there was a hack in the system in Mecklenburg County.
Oh yeah, they want
somebody
those
was
Bitcoins.
trying to get like a Bitcoin for it, because Bitcoin is going crazy.
Yes,
right.
Like insane. I think last time I checked, it was like almost 17 grand for one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Is water wet?
Oh gosh, no, please don't even start it. Not
Listen,
today.
Is water wet though? You know what though? And
Not
I got
today.
Before I answer that question, is the Earth round?
Yes.
Or is it flat?
It ain't flat. No.
It's not flat.
It's not flat.
According to BOB,
right. What do you think, Zen? I want to hear if you
it's round.
You think it's round. Now let me ask you this question. And I posed this question to somebody earlier. I don't think I have any. Does anybody have any change? Anybody have any change whatsoever?
None. Nope.
I keep change.
Not I.
No dollar bills, but I keep change.
You keep change. If you've got anything in there, any piece of change, I'd like to see it. I want to ask you guys a question. All right, so we got a dime and a penny, right? Yep. Dime and a penny. Is this round or is this flat?
Depends on how you look at it.
Oh! Depending on how you look at
the
it.
The shape of it is round.
Right, but it's also flat. But
yeah.
It's also flat. So what you're saying is that it's possible that an object could possibly be both flat and round, and that depending on how you look at it, your perspective of it could change. Is that what we're getting at?
Perspective.
No, the Earth is round. We know that already.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not round. I said that depending on.
But a sphere isn't flat. You can't have a sphere.
Yeah.
We're okay. So now we're defining the Earth. Now we're defining the Earth as a sphere.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is it not? How is it flat?
How is it? I don't know. I've never been to space.
I've never been to space either.
Right. Not only have we never been to space, but also the moon landing. I don't know if you guys know this, but NASA doesn't have any of that information from the moon landing, right? The tapes are gone, the data's gone, all the information from the supposed moon landing cannot be verified from the source of
I don't
individual.
think we've ever been.
What? So
that's with the, and I don't even know if that's even real.
Because they're like the flag is like moving like it would as if wind was
like
blowing.
if wind was blowing in space, and I'm like,
But you can't get a commercial flight to outer space now though for only $250,000.
you can't.
Isn't Branson like
only-
on that first one or something?
Yeah, it only takes like an hour.
Right.
I forgot what watch company was like offering.
Has anyone taken the flight yet?
I think I've seen like videos. It's like only takes like an hour. I think I've seen like a Twitter video of it, but I personally I'm not taking that risk.
I would love to go to verify.
doing it.
I need to
No,
see.
I'll stay on the
Yeah,
ground.
I'm not doing it.
Won't y'all FaceTime me?
I won't even skydive. Like it's not happening.
What?
I'm not jumping out of a plane. I'm not going. No, I like heights, but I'm not going to jump off a bridge for fun or jump out of a plane. I mean, I like it. I can get a rush in other ways. I don't know.
There are other ways to have a rush, but that particular rush, because for one, you're reluctant to do it. So doing it for you and for myself as well, not only does it provide a rush, but I'm conquering a fear, which is, that type of, momentum and movement. You know what I'm saying? Like after doing something like that, you probably be like, yo, look, I'm about to go in the studio and, you know what I'm saying? Like these next 5 songs, about to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, this next episode of the podcast, like after my brother jumped out of a plane on his 35th birthday.
If it was life or death and I had to, yes. But for leisure, no.
You're sitting on the ground.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being rational. That's a rational decision.
But people that do it, that's cool. Like, rocking, like, woo, that's cool. But I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so you mentioned now you said that there are other ways to get a rush. So, but to answer your question though, and I was just playing about the earth, you know what I'm saying? I really don't have an opinion, but water is wet. We all know that though. We all know water is wet.
I'm not even talking about this.
We all know water is wet, right? You put your hand in water, you got wet.
I see this on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook every day for like the last 36 hours.
Right. We all know water's wet, and you get wet by doing that. Okay, so I should invest in Bitcoin, is what you're saying, and I probably should have done it when Nate was telling me because it was about $7,000 cheaper.
Yeah, actually, it was around like $7,000.
Yeah, it just hit 15K today, I believe.
Right.
It may be more now. Oh, tight.
Right, and at the time, I think at the time when one of the guys in the group me was discussing it, it was like around 8 or 9K. So it's kind of doubled, and that was like less than a week ago.
Man,
he did call me that. Like I'm not a math person. Wes is like very analytical and right-brained, I guess. Yeah. So numbers, they kind of like I'm an intelligent human being, but numbers can they can confuse me more than this guy.
Right. So I'll just give you a little bit of perspective.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
So pretty much this, everyone thinks it's stock. It's not stock. It's currency. So it's currency being used by multiple people just in the world. Some people are, they're thinking that, it's only used on the dark web. Like, no, it's not used on the dark web. You can actually use it for other things. There's actually companies that we use on a day-to-day basis that actually use this. And I mean, you can research this and I don't have to sit here and tell you the list, but there are companies out here that actually do accept Bitcoin.
Yeah, it was just recognized on the Chicago exchange.
Right. So a lot of people are kind of weary of Bitcoin just because, it's not backed by a bank, which is understood. Like, because, on your stock market, you have NYSE and all these other corporations backing the stock exchange. So, say if you were to invest in this, and the app is Coinbase, if you guys haven't heard already. Say if you were to invest in this, probably about late October, it was roughly around like $7,000 per Bitcoin. And if you put this $100 down, right now your $100 would be worth at least $230, $40 right now. Mm-hmm. That $100 that you put in, so it more than doubled. You see what I'm saying? Within a little over a month, not even a month and a half. So this is actually done better than, some of my stock that I have in Capital One investing. So,
oh my gosh, I would just take my money out.
Yeah. It's been increasing. I think the lowest that it actually was that Bitcoin was in November was like like $5,800, and now it's kicked all the way up to 17 grand right now. So I mean, it's a lot of money. I mean, a lot of people are making money moves and starting to invest in it because they're starting to see its worth. But Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency that's available. You have things like Ethereum, and you have Litecoin, and you have Ripple, and there's a bunch of cryptocurrencies out there, or altcoins, so to speak. So definitely download that Coinbase and go get you some, man. Make an investment. I will say this, though. Don't put in more money than you're actually willing to lose, because just like the stock exchange, currency can also fluctuate. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that update on cryptocurrency because I needed that information for myself. So, all right. So now that we've, educated each other on cryptocurrency and my terrible day, as well as I don't do clubs, I'd like us now to, direct our attention to Zen, who is somewhat of a famed, I would say famed artist in the, in this area.
I'll take that.
We're very humble about the situation, and I can respect, humble and modesty, but there are a lot of individuals who, when I said that you were coming here, were very aware of who you were and almost were clamoring for it, at one particular time. Like, hey, this is an individual that you should reach out to. So, me and you that on that particular night, I didn't think that you were an individual that, could be approached so easily.
Cool. Party in the basement. I mean, it's all access right there.
Right. I was telling this guy, so let's talk about that party. I was invited by Sean Kidd. He recently was on this podcast, and
shout out Sean Kidd.
Right. Shout out to Sean Kidd. In fact, I've spoken to him more in like the last 30 days than I thought that I would. Mm-hmm. But we keep in contact pretty regularly, actually, and he's got a I'm gonna let him go. Right, I'm gonna let him go. Right, I'm gonna let him go. It's strange though. They never, nobody. I've never seen anybody here this early to clean or right to do maintenance. There's usually things, not a lot of things, but people are still here. So anyway, so shout out to Sean Kidd. Coupons video. He invited me to that performance. Mm-hmm. Now when he told me, and I'll be truthful, when he told me that he was going to be performing at a house party, I thought that he was completely nuts. I didn't think that, I didn't see why he thought that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And I was just picturing in my head, like, how the fuck is that going to work?
Oh, yeah.
But then I got there and I was just like, oh.
Light bulb.
Yeah. I was like, oh. I see I see why you came and did this. This is a very good idea, so, and he killed it. I got some video of him and of you, actually.
I thought he was going to break the stage. I was scared. Too. I was like, yeah, this rocks, but don't break the stage and die.
Right. He definitely, was very high energy, and I thought that he was going to fall through that that makeshift stage. And then he brought up Juice and another two individuals,
yes,
I think.
You're just like, I don't know how much this stage could take.
Right. The stage was was giving it all it could, but it held up, apparently. So it was only a brief intermission. So what I'd like to talk about, and, this is why I said that, you guys' word choices or animal choices, they were fitting based off of like my initial perceptions of, who you are as individuals. So, you spoke of, people or animals that are seen of as, very peaceful and intelligent, and that's kind of the impression that I got from you. Whereas you spoke of like, mythical and like, ethereal. I think it's the word, and that was a vibe that I got from you right off the bat, especially in the onesie. I was just like, hey, what's going on in the...
I was wearing a tiger onesie that night.
Right.
Yeah.
And initially I thought that was like your thing. I was like, no. Okay.
Well, the theme for the party was onesies.
Right. I saw other people and I was like, oh, okay, so, she's participating in the theme, like she's not fucking crazy. Like, just wearing a onesie.
I do wear some pretty outlandish like stuff for performances though. It's fun. It's like my time to like be a unicorn.
Right.
So I love it. That's my time.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I saw that you actually have an event coming up real soon in January. That's kind of like a an all girl, build on that, which I thought was interesting. I've met Hasina briefly. She had did you go to her listening?
I sure did.
Oh,
of course I wasn't gonna miss that.
And it was lit as fuck.
I mean, 70s theme, like hell yeah, I'm in there. Bell bottoms, like fur coat, lit.
Again,
Great time.
I didn't participate in the theme.
Come on,
right?
It's fun. That's the fun part.
I wish I had. I left straight from work.
Okay.
And came straight there, so I had my work clothes on.
Still no excuse.
Right, I should have just wore my 70s theme clothes
Get your
and
little
to
duffel
work.
bag.
Stuff in your car.
Yep.
Well, I like to throw a little steam on my stuff. Little steam and get them wrinkles out. So yeah, I was there and approached her as well, and she was amicable about doing this podcast as well. So first of all,
I love the way she talks. She's got a great talking voice.
She does, and I thought that she did well in her performance. I really because we're from a different area in North Carolina. Are both of you from Raleigh? No? Yes.
Yep, I'm from Raleigh.
You from Raleigh, and you are as well. Where are you from?
Kind of.
Jace?
I don't say where I'm from, but I grew up mostly here.
Okay, so you were from a place and then moved here at a young
Yep.
age, and then lived here since then.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, not really a young age, but
you found yourself
here.
Yes. Okay. Which is basically where you're from.
Yep.
So we're from a different place where individuality isn't celebrated as much. I don't think.
And you guys are from
We're
Charlotte.
from Charlotte.
What?
I'm from Charleston originally, but
Okay.
I moved to Charlotte at a young age and
Okay.
found myself in Charlotte. But yeah, it's not celebrated as much.
There's a really big art scene and creative scene there.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I
is it
thought.
recent? Is that a recent thing? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. The city as a
Gotcha.
whole does not support that particular area. And that particular area struggles because there's and we spoke about this in the prior episode, there's a very fish in a bucket, crab in a bucket mentality.
I think that's everywhere. That's like a little smaller. Because I feel that here in Raleigh.
Do you?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my gosh, I had to snip, cut people off because of it.
What about when you go over to Durham? Like, how do you feel about Durham? Because when I went to Durham, when I went to beat some bars, yeah, it was that concentrated area, but I mean, it was just love. Like everybody was just love. Like no fights were gonna occur.
Yeah, and
that no one was gonna start beefing you or be like, oh, that shit whack. Like booze, nothing like that.
I'm glad you say that because there is a difference in energy. Like I feel from Raleigh and Durham. Like when I go to Durham, I feel a lot more love. Like the music's more appreciated. Like when I was first doing shows, it's more supportive. More supportive. And I'm not saying there's not support here in Raleigh. There is, but it's just a different energy.
Vibe.
It's more like
Durham is like the Brooklyn.
It
I feel like the
is.
Brooklyn
It
of North
is.
Carolina.
And a
It
lot of people
exactly
try to give
is,
it a bad
yeah.
rap, be like, oh, it's hood. It's like, nah.
No.
Well,
Durham is great. I love
Once
Durham.
upon a time, people were getting shot and killed in Durham.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like the 80s, though. This
Yeah.
is like the 80s. Yeah. So Durham now, he was telling me this, is nationally ranked as far as places to get food.
Yeah.
Places to live.
They've
work,
got
and
beautiful
play.
houses, warehouses there, the art scene, music scene.
And
It's dope.
it's surrounded by Ivy League universities. So the individuals that you meet on an everyday basis are likely to have some college education, which makes a huge difference. Because I'm from and it's funny that you said that because you're not the first person to tell me that there's a divide between Durham and Raleigh. I say that what I said because since coming here. It's basically been an open door. Each individual, has greeted me, and I'm basically, I carry myself in a certain way though. So there are things that I participate in, but I carry myself in a certain way, especially when I'm entering a new territory. So maybe they could pick up on that, but there was never any let me stop you right here. Let me say. In fact, every single person has basically been like, okay, let me pull this curtain back for you. Why don't you come behind this curtain and see, X, Y, and Z. So, and that's in Durham and in Raleigh, and actually parts of Cary. I'm meeting individuals, and they have a far larger imprint than myself, in this area, so they have nothing to gain by dealing with me, yet they do anyway. You know, and that's in Charlotte, there is definitely a we have to exchange what we're gonna do for each other. It's not like I'm not, what I'm saying, like you two are busy, you got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? This is verified. You know, it's not just me speaking, blowing smoke. Like, it's verified, what you guys do and, the magnitude of it. Like, the likes, the follows, the interaction of other individuals, which far supersedes my own. So, in Charlotte, that may be a problem for some people because, they may feel like they're not getting enough out of the opportunity, or, that they feel like, something else has to occur in order for them to feel vindicated and, even speaking with you at times. And I know that because I worked that scene probably for about 15 years. So, I'm an individual who, is not often celebrated, but, very well received, in the places that I go. And that's just, like I said, how I handle myself and how I approach people and deal with them. So aside from all that, that's interesting that you all say that because, I'm real big on the energy and vibes and vibrations and wavelengths, and so I kind of just felt like that the area was vibing on a similar wavelength, but to hear you all say that there's a difference, and I mean actually
there's definitely a difference. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but you could feel it. You could feel the energy in those settings. I feel like Durham has way more cooler events too.
Well,
than Raleigh in the music side. There
are a lot of venues that are doper and cool, and they have those cool type of reputations in Durham. But the proximity of the two is so close. I kind of just lump them all together.
Oh yeah.
So they're
maybe about 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. About traffic.
But have y'all noticed people here make it seem like it's so far?
So far.
Like, oh, it's in Durham.
Like, you're going to Durham. I'm not going. I'm like. 30 minutes, girl.
Right.
There's no traffic at this moment. Yeah.
And that's another thing. People over here complaining about traffic, how
Yeah,
traffic
it
is
is
so bad. I was like, have you been to Atlanta?
Have you been to
LA?
Georgia?
Have you been to New York?
Bro, I
Like,
lived in New York for 10 years.
Exactly.
I knew nothing about traffic.
How many times did you drive like yourself?
What, in New York?
Yeah.
No, but there's train traffic too.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
train traffic
Yes.
too. See, that I did not know about.
Yes. there's
Everybody
train
got to rush
traffic.
to get on that.
You'll be
The
underground
ones
for
and
like
twos
30
and the
minutes.
sixes.
What?
Yes.
There's train traffic?
It's
I
train
did not know
traffic.
that existed.
Oh my God, you're like smashed in there like sardines if you like do the commute in the morning. It is.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Wild.
Like the actual physical travel.
Like you're under people's
Yeah.
armpits.
Oh, that.
I lived in New York for a bit as well.
You know,
I got you.
girl, you know,
My
That's
crazy.
my dad's family is from
That's all I have to say.
from New York. Oh yeah. And the cool thing, I learned a new trick. So even though that the levels might sound a little bit off, I learned a new trick with my software how I can take care of that. So I'm not. But it's better to not have to. You know what I'm saying? Because the less I have to do, the quicker it can come out. The quicker it can come out because I'm a procrastinator. So, yeah, my dad's family's from New York, Buffalo, but I spent some time in the city, in summers, but never experienced that to where I'm standing under somebody's armpit. But they probably kept me, they probably guided me, at times when I wouldn't experience those things. So now, what I like to do before we get too long-winded and because I'm sure everybody has had a long day. I mentioned briefly about the show that you had, and then you also said that there were some events coming up in the area. So what I'd like to know is that what main events or okay. I apologize. I got a message. So you said that you had some events coming up soon. The beard party for one, but that was in the works. Mm-hmm. So what's coming up that my fans in this area? I also have an event coming up. Mm-hmm. An ugly sweater party. That'll be first week in January. You all are more than welcome to come. You're invited. Actually, I contacted Fannie Mae, but she's supposed to be DJing. When I say supposed to be, I just haven't confirmed. I haven't given her the updated date. So she should be there.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Sure.
Shout out to Fannie Mae, whose birthday is today.
Oh,
Friday, the 8th. This airs Friday, right? to her birthday. It's today.
Birthday.
She's throwing a players ball tonight in Charlotte.
Oh,
I'm gonna be in my finest pimp attire.
man, I wish I could go to that.
Oh man,
You know
it's
what?
Gonna be lit.
The thing is,
I'm
though,
performing there as well.
are you performing Getting Started?
Yes.
Which, and that was my first. That was my. I had heard Getting Started, but that was my first time seeing you perform it, which was a dope song and dope.
Appreciate it.
You know the way that you did it and got the crowd involved. Now your style of music though is because I was trying to explain it to him, and because it's not very typical. Mm-hmm. Even though it's like a mix of like pop and rap and like some alternative elements in there as well. But how would you describe it?
I would say it's a mix between house, rap, and I'd say like electronic, so like EDM mixed with house and rap and a little bit of funk here and there. I sing as well, so I try to do a nice little happy medium of everything to come up with the Zensofly recipe.
Do you produce your own music?
A lot of it I do. I also work with a producer named Maxville who produced 90% of my last EP, Sunflowers.
Available now.
Available everywhere, yes.
Available everywhere. Where did that name Zensofly come from?
Because I thought I was going to be in fashion. So my actual name is Zen, and then the fly just came from, always, looking the part and being fly. Yeah, pop the collar real quick.
Okay. So
It's
we got
fitting. It's very fitting.
it is
Appreciate it.
it is
Very
very
fitting.
fitting. It is very fitting. It flows and it's different and unique. It's fitting for sure. So definitely happy birthday, Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We'll she and I will speak soon, so I can pay her to DJ my event. And
Need that money.
right.
You
So
get the slap with the baby powder.
Right.
You feel me? You feel me?
I don't want to get slapped with with anything.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we're having an ugly sweater party. I'd love it if you all attended. Of course, I'll reach out to you again, get you some information. There is a cash prize on the table. There's actually a couple cash prizes on the table. You guys got a little big when I said that. Well, first
My coins.
place is walking out of there with $500.
What about the Bitcoin? Come on, man.
Hey,
We
listen.
want the Bitcoins.
Oh, have we reached the age where Bitcoins is better than cash?
Sure. I'll take one Bitcoin to take that risk.
But what we gotta do?
Yeah.
Get the
Well, so
money.
a judge. There will be unnamed judges, not me and not Wes. I also won't be, won't be eligible to win my own money. Right. Unfortunately, I can't pay myself to win a competition that I'm throwing. But it's just where initially we wanted this in Christmas, but it's going to be in January. So it's still going to be cold as fuck though. So still wear your sweater, the ugliest sweater that you have. So it does not have to be Christmas themed, but the ugliest sweater that you can create or purchase or, acquire and, create points for creativity. So there'll be points for creativity.
Money right there.
But right, so first place is walking out there with $500, second place with $250, and then 5 honorable mentions with $50. So it's a place that somebody can come and rack up a check. It's the first payday of the new year, so somebody's gonna be sitting pretty walking out of there. So more information on that. It's gonna be January the 4th, which is a Thursday. It's the first Thursday of the new year, and so it'll actually be at Market Hall. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Market Hall. Do you know where Social Status is?
Yes.
It's right there by Social
Right
Status.
across the street in that little
There's
event
like
place.
that event
Cool.
place. Yep, that's where it is, which is very wide open. There's gonna be drinking games. I'm gonna make a special brew of eggnog. So
Nice.
come. There'll be light food refreshments.
So eat before you come.
It's better if you eat before you come. But I will have some stuff you can put on your stomach so that you're not walking out of there throwing up.
Appreciate it.
Right. But not much. Yeah, because it's 7 to 11. Right. It'll be like pregame hours, like 7 to 11,
Cool.
6 to 10 type. So you can leave here and go home if you want, or you can go and enjoy your
It's
night.
like happy hour.
Right. So, because I want to leave and go home, at a decent time. Because I don't know if I'll work the next day or not. So, right. So we'll see. So, okay. So I lost my train of thought. Somebody was telling me who you were. I think that you were telling me about your event.
Oh yeah, upcoming events. So we're in holiday season, y'all.
Right.
So y'all know we're in holidays. There's a lot of parties going on. Ugly Christmas sweater parties. I know First Class Lifestyle. I don't know if you've been to some of their parties, but they've been having some at the Vault. They're doing Black Trivia Night, which I went to the last one, which was really, really dope. Test all your knowledge. I lost my black card. I don't know how many times.
Is it Black Card Revoke?
Yes.
Did you play that game?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, but the questions that they asked, I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm like, they had like a Martin section. I was like,
Oh, what did
my
Tommy
God,
do?
yes. No, it wasn't all that. Like they would ask questions about, the type of actor or actress was like on this certain episode.
Right. Very specific. Very specific.
Very. I mean, but it was like dope. Like you had food and drink and
right.
I had
Are they
a really,
doing
really
another
good
one
time.
anytime soon?
Yes,
That
they
sounds
are.
awesome.
They're doing one on Friday.
So
Today
they're doing one today
Yes.
on Fannie Mae's birthday.
Yes.
Okay, well you'll probably have to skip that, but I'll be available.
Yeah. So that's dope. And then
And where is that going to be?
at the Vault.
The Vault. I know where the Vault.
Over there by Duke.
Yo,
Duke
the Vault.
University.
So, oh my
The
God.
basement.
Right. We're talking about sweating it out. You
I
know?
love that venue.
I love what it could be. But I've never been to an event there that utilized the venue like it should be. But it's so grungy and so dirty. It's like, I can only be down here for a period of time. And then I have to come up for air because it's like,
I mean, it is in a basement.
It is. But it's so cool, though. But it is hot.
Yeah.
It's
But they
hot.
got like a little area where you can go outside in the back too as well. So
They had that. I've only been twice, and they had it closed off both times. I didn't know there was an area in the back.
like you can walk right on outside.
Okay, I didn't know that, but I was like, I was down there like, air.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah. But if
Okay.
you want to be like, more cultured, at the art museum, they have the Ebony Fashion Fair 50 years.
Wow.
And so they have a nice little curated, selection. A-list. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the A-list crew. They're kind of more seasoned.
I've heard the name.
A-list NC. And they have one of the biggest New Year's Eve parties.
Oh, I do enjoy my New Year's Eve parties.
And then, have you been to R&B Colors R&B party yet? It was at the Ritz, I believe, and they played R&B all night long. So I was like, "Oh, I'm a big '90s R&B fan." Yes, I just sung at the top of my lung. I lost all my marbles. But they're doing a New Year's Eve event as well, so that's gonna be really dope as well.
Okay, so we got the aforementioned, and if you could get as many of those links to him as possible.
Yeah,
so absolutely. that I can link to those on my website as well as on my socials. Definitely, we want all our listeners to come meet us. Sometimes people do. Some weirdos come out and as fans to these places. But I like my fans, and they're weird. I'm weird. They're weird. So we're all weird together. Make sure. What is the name of that all girl?
Well, it's actually Mbala's release party for her. I don't know if it's an album or an EP, but yeah. So
At Motorco?
yeah.
Oh wow,
The
that's
22nd.
no.
I don't want to say the
12th.
date. Oh no.
Is it getting pushed back?
I don't know. I could have the date wrong, but yeah, it's for her album release
Okay.
party or EP release party. I'm on that lineup. Hasina, EBZ the artist, and Gemini will be DJing.
Oh, Gemini. I'm familiar with
Yes.
Gemini. And that was interesting. I really wanted to hear how that came about, just getting everybody together. Because that's another thing that, you wouldn't see in Charlotte is females, supporting each other, which, that happens everywhere. But that would be very difficult to do, especially when all of those individuals who are, emerging, as they are, what I'm saying? Like in Charlotte, it would be so difficult to have that kind of caliber of artists come together and be like, this is, this person, support her, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all about, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
Jeez,
that.
Charlotte's rough then. Gosh.
It's not rough. It's just like it's just a place where fake love is more prevalent than any type of actual support.
Yeah.
Fake love and anything like that. So how did that even come about, getting all those people together?
Well,
do y'all know each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's there's a lot of females actually running behind the scenes here. Like the person that booked the show, she's like great. She does a lot of stuff with organizations and everything. So when she reached out and told me what it was about, I guess they're friends, whatever. So she reached out to her connections, and I was one of the people that she reached out to. So it's a lot of females behind the scenes as well. So there's a community. It wasn't just like a random thing, but we all reach out and help where we can, because that's what it's about, support.
That's dope. That's really good. I'm married. I didn't say that at the beginning, because it wasn't important until we're right now. But I'm married, so my wife actually she says that a lot, because her sister works at BU Cafe, so she interacts with a lot of those people who are moving behind the scenes. But she actually wanted to come here and meet you tonight. But I told her chill, like chill.
Well, I'll be in Durham tonight, so BU Cafe is probably not going to be.
Do you
open
go
by the time?
Right. I know, right? But we're coming to the show in January, so I told her, I'll mention it, but I was like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, shout out to your sister, or
my wife,
to your wife,
and my sister-in-law. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, yeah, man, that's at this particular point, as I like to say, I think that I'm out of gas. I'm out of steam.
I just wanted to, because this is probably the last time we're gonna. I mean, we'll have recurring artists and talent on the podcast, but seeing that this is probably gonna be the last time this year that we're gonna have you guys on. You guys have any New Year's resolutions, anything of that nature? Like, I plan to do this, or any goals, travel.
I got a lot up my sleeve.
New jobs coming into. Okay.
Well, my everyday thing is be the best you. So each day I try to give 100%, no matter how I'm feeling. I just gotta, push everything aside and just give a 100 towards everything that I do. But for New Year's, I'm gonna be playing in Asheville. Bringing in the New Year's out there. I've never been, but it's going to be a crazy party. So I'll be bringing the New Year out there. But my goals, I'm going to get signed next year to a record label. I'm putting that out there.
Speak that out.
I am wanting to travel a lot more, spend a lot more time with my family, and just keep putting out good work and stay consistent in my craft and my brands.
Mm-hmm. That's ambitious. I like that. Yeah. Well, do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, like my sister Zen said, I think for me, next year I'll be concentrating on balancing a lot. I do so much, and I didn't realize how much I do, especially with volunteering. I'm a Girl Scout troop leader as well, and in addition to, I don't do clubs and my daytime job and things I do with my church and ministry. And I just need to balance it all so I can concentrate on things that I really need to concentrate on. And things that I love to do, like cooking. Oh my gosh, I love to cook, but I get home so late at night. And I love it. I would stay up to like midnight making new recipes and posting it on Instagram. So I definitely want to do that. I've also been toying with enrolling in a culinary arts program. So I kind of like want to moonlight, do that on the side as well. Eventually, I would love to open up a brick and mortar dedicated to the Daniel's Fast, which is something that I'm interested in, which I normally do like in January, the first 2 weeks as well. But yeah, that's kind of the things that I'm toying with. But again, I have to have that balance first before I start enrolling into those type of things, because if I'm not good for myself, I can't be good for anyone else, and I can't put that 100% in to those other things I want to be dedicated to.
Perfect. I like that too. Did you have Any resolutions that you're going to give up on? Probably about January 4th.
Well, I know a big one that's always broken every year is working out, man. Like I have this picture of like The Rock, and I'm like, I don't want to be that swole, but I want to definitely, I don't want to be that swole. I don't want to be a musclehead. Just want to get back in the gym. I've been rehabilitating this broken hip that I have. So my doctor said I have to train like an athlete now. So I'm going to start doing that. As far as goals and things of that nature, obviously the music is one. My job as well. My job is putting me in some pretty good positions that are going to benefit me in the future as an engineer. So that's another. As far as travel, got a group of friends. We're trying to go to Africa. Probably like around somewhere around the summertime. I'm also I've been selected as the best man for one of my homeboys' wedding. So our travels are gonna bring us or take us to Toronto. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up about that. Things to do in Toronto as well. So but yeah, man, just trying to be a better me, man. Just trying to make the right decisions, financially and physically and mentally. That's pretty much my resolution. What about you?
Well, I don't have any resolutions. Not for the new year, but what I will say that I do have some goals and some ambition. I anticipate that next year will probably be, my best and brightest year with much of the content that I've created. I don't like to, toot my own horn, but I say that, I do a lot more than just, a podcast. It's very simple. So some of, the content that I'm working on, I think is very innovative. And what, my method is to stay ahead of competition is, I just view what they do, what I deem my competition to be, and what they do and what they don't do. And then I provide what they don't do because there's nobody else doing it, essentially. So there's a couple of things that I'm working on, and like I don't ever like to use the word like sure thing or, this is going to hit. But a few of them, that's the type of feeling that I have. And it's just because, for one, like when I started having a podcast, nobody was doing it at the time. Nobody was doing it at the time when I was listening to them. Once I started, by the time I decided to have a podcast, a lot of other people had the same idea. So I kind of started the game in a bit of a wave where the door had already closed. However, a new form of content that I'm working on, and I can say it because I'm pretty much there now, but like VR and 360 videos, it's a kind of bit of an untapped territory, and I'm kind of on that cutting edge. I was able to get in front of the crowd with regards to a new piece that I'm working on that will be available very, very soon. In fact, some people will remember I had a podcast before. It's very popular, I would say, and friends. And I told people that there was a better way to do it. And so I think I have found a better way to do it. So I think that I'll be very successful. I'm claiming that in 2000, and I'll also be 30 in 2018. So I'm claiming that I'll be very successful. Right. I think that major success is coming my way in the next 12 months. So before I let everybody go, can you give your handles so people can know where to find you, where to be updated, and how to, because especially people in this area, they're going to want to know that information as far as those events. And also, of course, they already want to know where you at and what you're doing. But tell my audience so that these people who are kind of lame, hey, I'm lame too, y'all. We lame together. We learn in this new area together. So if you would, just tell them where they can find you all and, how they can interact and keep up.
First, I want to say I do not think that y'all are lame. I didn't say that. Y'all are not lame. The hosts are not lame. They're very dope. Okay.
I'm socially awkward.
Okay.
Is a better word, but I'm not lame. No.
I'll take the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Why can't he take compliments? I don't understand. You want to have a session after this?
Thank you. I appreciate.
Okay,
I
all right.
appreciate the compliment.
Okay, so here are my handles. Let me stick back to what he asked me.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram and Twitter. Q the curls.
Q the
curls.
The
Q
curls.
letter Q THE curls.
Curls. Okay.
Following you right now.
I'm gonna do the same. Actually, we're all gonna. Well, Wes is. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm already following you when you sent me the link. I think. All right. So, okay. So, cue the curls. Shout out to you for coming out here, and shout out to you for keeping up with what to do in this area. Even though I kind of sometimes have too much to do in this area, but I would like more events I can go to. People, I like to play the cut too. So I'm becoming a staple at certain events. I don't know how, but people keep inviting me to things, and then I keep seeing other people who are, more notable than myself, especially in this area. So I just like to observe. I'm an observer as well. So I like to go places and see people perform well and do things, and I just love seeing, especially young black people, like, so many people I know who don't sell drugs and who not, who, haven't flunked out of college and who haven't,
I dropped
shot
out
out
of college like 3 times.
I did too, but I'm not from this area. So, I'm exempt. But I did go back and finish a form of post-secondary education. And once I did, I was filled with I became addicted to accomplishing goals. After that, it was a bit of a rush for me.
Not graduating college does not make you a bum at all.
But I didn't go. College isn't for everybody. It's not for me. So Zen, if you would, tell my listeners where they can follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me on my social media is Zensofly, Zensofly. Really active on Instagram and Twitter as well. If you follow me on Twitter, just be careful. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Be careful. I've got a show coming up with Rico Nasty this Sunday at Chapel Hill Local 506.
Oh, word.
Yep, Sugar Trap Tour. So definitely check that out. Wear your flowers. That's a thing. People wear flowers to my shows. So
Okay.
Wear your flowers if you're
Sunday.
going to be in the building.
What time?
Doors open at 8. Show starts at 9. I'll be on around 9:30ish, 10.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the be careful. Do you have like a beehive like behind you?
Oh,
Like a zen hive?
I guess maybe where the flies. I guess the flies.
True.
Maybe that could work. I don't think people are really standing over me like that. But
you
if
you
they
have
were,
you have some hitters.
got some hitters.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
got
be
some.
careful.
Got some hitters. So be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful. Okay, so Wes, where can the people? Well, they know, but
But for those who are new listeners, you can catch me on Instagram and on Twitter and on SoundCloud at I am Wes Taylor. That's IAMWESTAYLOR.
Okay, and so for those remaining listening, you can follow me, Splash Jordan, on Instagram and Twitter at House of Splash, as well as you can follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter at The Verdict Podcast. I'm not very active socially. I am active as hell on Snapchat, but I don't give out my Snapchat. Like, all the people on my Snapchat are like people I know. And so, but that's where I'm like the most active. So if y'all are on there, we can link. But I try to be active on Instagram, but not as much as I could be. But definitely, check me out. I'm trying to do more things and be seen a little bit more. I do want to say I actually had a gift for the both of you, but had means I don't have it with me. So at some point. Okay. And it's not anything. It's not anything, expensive but definitely, I'm trying a new thing out, where, just thank you for coming to the show. It's a gift. I'll figure out a way to get it to you. I will get it to you. Come hell or high water. You know what I'm saying? You can bet your bottom dollar that you will receive. And I think that there was some thought that was put into it, though. There was more thought than money. I'll say that. But, there was thought that was put into it. And I think that you'll like it and you'll use it. And I'm kicking myself for not bringing it with me. But so you'll hear from me again soon with regards to that. Someplace and I'll just drop it off, you know what I'm saying, real quick, like, you know what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a thing. Just like, hey, let me drop this off to you when available. Well, really, what I may try and do is actually just come to the show. I could probably bring yours on Sunday. Cool. If not, I'll see you at some point.
With Wes.
Okay, and you can catch up with Wes. Perfect. So you'll receive those. Not anything that you have to retaliate, but I do just appreciate you for coming on the show. And for
thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It was a good time.
It was. So feel it's an open door. If you have anything coming up again, like in the future, and you want to have a forum to talk. This is a forum, real quick, and I'll say this and I'll go. But my previous podcast, it got popular because it was a place that people could go and talk shit. So it was a place that you could go and say things, and then, it just kind of turned into that. So, if there are places, if you feel that you want to vent and get things off your chest, I'm definitely willing to sip tea. And, I'm
here every week.
I'm a great listener.
Oh, yeah, I got some steam to let off. Not now, for another time. But
okay.
Not really steam, but just thoughts and random stuff. I'm very random, so. Okay.
So, all right. So then that means that down the road, we'll see each other again, I'm sure.
For sure.
All right. Perfect. All right. So thanks for coming out. It's episode 23. Happy birthday, Fanny.
Yay.
Happy birthday.
All right. See you at the Players Ball, player.